Have you ever felt stuck? Like, no matter what you do, you just feel like you're not getting anywhere? Like you're stuck in the same place, as if you've taken 2 or 3 steps forward and 5 steps backwards? Trust me, it's something that I've struggled with for a long time. This is my first video relaunching my YouTube channel, and in this video, I'm not trying to get pity or not trying to make people feel sad or sorry for me. This is a video of my journey and the gratitude that I have for the people who've helped me get here to this part of my life. Now, this isn't the first time I've done any kind of content creation. This is me trying again after trial and error and trying to put in the work and effort this time around. But we have to start a little ways back to how I first got here. For most of my years, I've never been a super lucky, fortunate guy that's made it big in life with a top paying career and lots of money. I would say I've grown up in between a low and middle class citizen. I have, however, been fortunate enough to have 2 good parents at the start. And then when they divorced, my father left while my mother, of course, kept custody of me and my younger brother, and we stayed with her. We did the whole back and forth, spending time, between both my mom and my dad, until eventually more problems came, and he became more aggressive and authoritative, and we stopped seeing him. While growing up though, I have always had a good sense of technology and computers, and I knew from a young age that I wanted to have a career related to that. My father was a big gamer, and that was where I actually got my gaming hobby from. I would watch him play games all the time, starting from Super Nintendo with Mega Man, and then like PS1 came out, and I watched him play games like Resident Evil, Final Fantasy, Dino Crisis, and Castlevania. So I had strong aspirations to want to be a game developer of sorts. I was young at the time, when you're still trying to figure out what you want to do or what you want to be in life. I was also pretty good at some art, like sketch drawing, where even one time I won a art contest for 3rd place when I was like in 4th grade. So I had a lot of hobbies that at first I wanted to try combining all of them into a career. I first decided on clothes designing. That didn't last very, very long, to be honest with you. Then I said, okay, maybe I could do game development because I also love video gaming. But after doing research about what it entails to be a game developer, I quickly found out that the reality of game development was not very good, and it didn't sound like a very fun career. So ultimately, what I landed on that was tried and true for me, information technology. And I always loved being on computers, always loved learning how they work and other things of technology as well. Now, fast forward a bit, during much of my teens, I moved around a lot. First in New York City, and my mom relocated us to Jacksonville, Florida. And most of my years have been a struggle to really achieve my goals. And my mom was still a single parent dealing with taking care of 2 kids on her own. When I was old enough to get my first job at 16, I went and got a job at a Winn-Dixie supermarket. And then that's when my mom hit a hard point in her life where she fell out of work for a time. So I did what any good son would do, and I supported her by letting her stay with me until she got back on her feet. My point to all of this is that I've hit a lot of roadblocks in my life to where I started to feel like whenever I do take a step forward, I would get knocked right back down and have to start over again. Those feelings really grew over time to where it started to affect me, where taking actions and making progress that I should have done a long time ago, it just wouldn't happen because in the back of my mind, there was a nagging feeling of failure and just wasting time. I mean, at this point, I still didn't get started with the career that I wanted to be in. What really made my reality come crashing down was when I started dating a girl that I was working with at the time. It was in 2015, and I was working at Home Depot. Still to this day, it was the worst relationship that I've ever had in my life. I'm not a perfect person to put the entire blame on her, but it was definitely the main cause of all the issues, as she kind of manipulated, She cheated and she even falsely accused me and got me arrested. I had lost everything that I had worked hard to build, from my home to my car to my job. After all of that, I fell into a huge depression state for about 5 years. I barely ate, I barely slept, I didn't care about anything, didn't care about working, I didn't care about basically being a bum. I used video games to escape and ignore everything around me. And it was really hard because I knew what I was doing was wrong. Fast forward again to close to around this time, I had finally broken out of that deep depression state that I was in because I was tired of being that way. Tired of being broke, tired of just lounging around, and I actually went and got a new job and started working. I started working hard, basically starting over again. I started working at restaurants, and actually working in restaurants is a tough field to work in, but I started to get back on track again. This is where I actually first started to do content creation, and I thought, well, this should be actually pretty easy after watching other people, do YouTube and live streaming on Twitch. I felt like, yeah, I could do it like these other people do, but it just looks easy. And maybe it is, but there's a lot more to it that goes into it. Essentially, I wasn't prepared and I didn't put in the effort like I should have. If things didn't work out like I planned and thought it would, it still affected me a lot because I was still grappling with doubts and fear of failure, and it made it easier to quit. Maybe about a year or two ago, I came across Asmongold. I found him when I was playing Diablo 4, probably about a year after it came out. One of my coworkers was begging me to play it, so I gave in. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll try it out, because I also had other friends that was playing it too, and it actually did look good. It looked fun to play. So when I started looking at YouTube videos about it, that's when Asmongold came up, and I started watching his videos. Now, I have heard about Asmongold before, and I just never paid attention or watched his videos yet. But after I did start watching, I was like, man, this guy is actually really cool. He's pretty bass, and he's real as fuck. So yeah, I actually do like Asmongold. I think he's a really good guy. But what really struck me was a video he did where he basically says, if you want to stream and become a content creator, it's not about it being easy, it's about the effort that you put into it.
There's a lot of people that don't really ever respect the grind. They don't ever respect the amount of effort and time that you have to put into something in order to make it successful. They just see the end result and they're mad because it's not them. And you can be successful, anybody can be successful. It doesn't matter what time you start, you just have to put in the effort and be popular. Or not be popular, I mean, obviously that's circular. Be entertaining. You can't rely on anybody else to do you favors. You can't rely on anybody else to have your best interests in mind. You can't rely on anybody else to help you. You can't rely on anybody else to ensure your success. You can't rely on anybody else, period. You can only rely on yourself, and you can only trust yourself, and you can only believe in yourself. Don't rely and wait for somebody else to give you a golden ticket. Print it yourself.
You don't get handed things to you in life by doing nothing. If you don't ever do anything, nothing will ever happen, and nothing will ever change. And that really hit me hard because he's right. He's absolutely right about that. If you don't ever do anything, you just can't expect things to just happen for you. Everything else in my life that I've done has been through my effort, and of course the people who supported me through it all. I would have never gotten back on my feet after my deep depression. I would have never gotten another job. I would have never got another car, my first gaming PC, a PS5, a Nintendo Switch. All of it is by my effort in choosing to get up and do something. Recently, last year, I did finally decide to get my foot in the door in information technology with a career that I wanted to do since I was young. It was last year of March 2024. I finally decided to go and earn my information technology certification to get my foot in the door. It was the CompTIA A+ to finally become an official professional IT technician. And then end of that same year, I landed my first IT job where I still am now. It's not the best job, it's entry level, still at the bottom. But finally having my foot in the door has been one of my best achievements that I've had yet in my life. And I just need to work my way up from there. But also, this is why I'm here now, trying again to wholeheartedly do content creation. So for anyone out there that is struggling with doubts that you can't do anything, that you can't make it, that you can't succeed, yes you can. You just gotta do it. You gotta take that first step. Failure is okay. Failure is totally fine. You can get back up and try again. It's how we as humans learn. And I want to give a big shout out and thank you to Asmongold, because he has inspired me to stop being stupid, to stop getting in my head and get in the game that I love. I also want to thank my mom. Without all her support, I wouldn't be here as well. And also my younger brother, who also does great things. He also got into IT, and he was also opened up a Naruto themed restaurant that I'm really proud of him for doing that. But I'll share more information about that also another time. But if you like this video, please give it a like and a subscribe for more content. I do want to continue making more and eventually gain a following into YouTube's affiliate content creation community. And I'll see you next time.